Dear WILPF Australia members, it is a real privilege to be with you at a time when the stakes for feminist peace have rarely been higher, globally, regionally, and here in Australia. We meet in a moment defined by deep contradictions. Governments speak of security and yet they invest in militarisation. They commit to climate action and expand fossil fuel extraction. They endorse the Women, Peace and Security agenda and yet fail to resource its implementation. And they speak of multilateralism, even as they undermine the institutions that sustain it. In this context, WILPF's role, our role, is not only to respond to this polycrisis moment, it is to lead. What WILPF has done for 111 years is to offer a coherent feminist alternative grounded in justice, demilitarization, and collective security. That vision is as relevant and more visible, relatable, and urgent than ever before. At a time of global crisis, feminist movements are under immense pressure. Funding is constrained, civic space is shrinking, and the demands on organisations like WILPF continue to grow. Yet it is also, as is often the case, a moment of possibility and transformation. WILPF's strength lies not only in its history and its legacy, but its ability to evolve, to build collective leadership, to deepen partnerships, while remaining rooted in feminist principles. Over the past year, WILPF has undertaken important work to strengthen the organisation through this transitional period, and we prepare for another meaningful moment of change in the Congress in July this year. So now more than ever, it's critical that WILPF Australia remains a space of political clarity, feminist practice, and collective care. What does that look like? It looks like investing in membership growth and intergenerational leadership, including outreach to younger feminists and young feminist leaders in particular. Strengthening partnerships with Indigenous, climate, and peace movements across Australia and the region. Building organisational capacity to sustain long-term advocacy and mobilisation in partnerships and collective solidarity. And we see this as a global impetus that is really galvanising movement solidarity across the world. Here, I would say that there is also a call for deep reflection on what this looks like in practice and how it works intergenerationally. WILPF's impact in the coming years will come from our capacity to embrace an intergenerational transition that allows us to transform and innovatively adapt to these incredibly disruptive times. Our commitment to build the movement at a time when mobilize matters more than ever, because even democratic governments are being unresponsive to their population's demands and their own commitments to fundamental human rights values. Our capacity to articulate and advocate for an integrated approach across national, regional, and international decision-making communities and fora is critical. This is where we get to advocate for a transformative vision and one that has a magnetic pull for those who are looking for solutions through the current polycrisis moment. In Australia and the Asia Pacific, this work is both urgent and possible. You are part of a region that is central to global geopolitical shifts, a region on the front lines of climate change and innovation. And here I would also add a region rich in feminist leadership and resistance. So I would love to see WILPF Australia continue to lead and strengthen its advocacy on demilitarisation and disarmament in the region, stand in solidarity with Pacific communities demanding climate justice and reparations, reclaim and advance a transformative WPS agenda grounded in accountability and prevention, and strengthen WILPF as a resilient intergenerational feminist movement capable of not just meeting this moment, but leading communities in visionary thinking that has clarity and galvanizes communities in courage to be able to build the world that we envisage and that we know is something that we are committed to. Thank you so much, and I hope that you have really fruitful discussions in the coming days in this really important conference where we seek to generate this collaborative vision together. Thank you.